Hey, what's up, guys? This is Chris Steeves with eXp Realty in Ottawa, and going to break down townhomes as an investment. We're going to look at Ottawa townhomes, all the numbers behind them. Do they make sense as an investment? Looking at income and expenses. Is there any cash flow? Are you making money? Are you losing money? What do we need to know about these things? So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you, we've got here a spreadsheet. This is really going to break down rough numbers, approximate numbers, and kind of going to take a general townhome that you could purchase in this city at this time. It's late August 2022 right now. You're probably getting a decent townhome for $600,000. You could find them cheaper. You could also spend more on them, depending if you want to go old or new, and how big they are, and what the finishings inside, how many bathrooms, is the basement finished, all that stuff. But we're going to use 600,000 just because it's an easy number. It's pretty easy to find, and this is just kind of taking like an average. Mediocre townhome in the suburbs. So purchase at 600,000. Closing costs of about $8,200. That's land transfer tax and legal fees. These are general approximate numbers. They're somewhat accurate, but they're not exact, so please don't quote me on it. So you got 608,000 all in costs. These things rent for about $2,200 a month. So that's on average. Yeah, sometimes they go a little bit less, sometimes they go a bit more. It really depends on what you've got, how many parking spaces, what's the yard like, all the different variables. But 2,200 is a safe bet. It's 2,200 as a rental amount is pretty standard for this city, so we're going to use that. I have this set up so if we had more units, we can add more. But anyways, you got 26,400 gross income for the year. Property taxes on something like that are going to be around $4,800, give or take. Insurance for the year, about $1,800, give or take. I put in a 2% maintenance fee, so every year we expect to do a little bit of maintenance and repairs on the building. $792 a year. That's very conservative. That's very low numbers. If you have to replace a roof or a furnace or something big, this is going to be a heck of a lot more. So we're keeping the numbers low just to try and make this townhome investment look attractive. You really gotta, water down these numbers if you want these things to be at all reasonable, and they still aren't. But we're gonna see that shortly. So the tenants are gonna pay the gas, the hydro, and the water sewer bill. Landlord does not pay this stuff, so that's good. Management. It's a townhome. You could probably manage it yourself. Really don't need to hire somebody. If you did, it's going to be more like 5 to 8% management fee. We're not going to put that in right now, but just keep that in mind, that you really should, for being smart and savvy with your numbers, you should factor in a management fee. You should put in I hate to say it, but you should put in at least 5%. $1,300 for the year. That's actually pretty conservative as well. But anyway, moving on. No other expenses. Vacancy and loss 3%. Vacancy rates around Ottawa are typically like 2%. You could. Yes, again, you would want to be smart and you want to add a little bit higher vacancy loss, but for the sake of this, we're going to put this at 3%. Some people like to just put 0 as if there's never a vacancy, which might be the case, but to run the numbers, we're going to use this. So you got a net income, 18,216. That's your NOI after all expenses. That's a cap rate of 3% based on your net income divided by your purchase price. That is a very low cap rate. So we're financing 20% or 80% of it. We're going to put 120,000 down. That's 20%. We're going to mortgage the rest, 480 grand. That's going to be total mortgage payments for the year around 33,000. That's based on 4.75% interest rate, which is pretty pretty fair for today. Interest rates. If you want to go with like a 5-year fixed, it'll be higher than this. If you go with a variable, you might get it a little bit lower, maybe 4.5. We'll do 4.75 just as a safe number. So your interest payments approximate, these are all approximate by the way, but interest payments approximately for the year around $14,700. Your principal pay down for the year around $17,900, almost $18,000. Again, this is approximate, but it's decent mortgage pay down. Cash flow for the year negative $14,493. Cash flow monthly negative $1,200 a month. Not great, guys. I mean, you can see this is a standard townhome investment. This is not amazing numbers. Let's say we try and get this down and you buy it for $550, which is cheap. You get a townhome in Ottawa for $550. You probably have to put some renovation costs, and I put 0 for renovation costs here. But when you buy at this rate, expect to at least do paint, maybe some flooring, maybe new kitchen countertop, etc. Anyway, let's look at the numbers. All the same numbers. Does it get any better? 3.27% cap rate. Your net income's still the same. Your mortgage amount is smaller now. So you're only losing $980 a month instead of $1,200. So yeah, you buy it cheaper, it gets a little bit better, but you're so far away from positive cash flow on this thing. So I did another scenario here. This is if you were to, I'm going to change this real quick. If you were to furnish it and do like Airbnb rentals, let's say you're getting, I want to be realistic here. Let's say you're getting $3,000 a month as a furnished rental. Let's see if these numbers get much better. Okay, well, we're going to say you're buying, we'll go back to the $600,000 purchase price. You're all in for $608, $3,000 a month income, $36,000 a year income. Your cap rate gets a little better, 3.89. Management here, I put in 10%. It's really, you want to manage a shorter term rental, you really do need to put a management fee in. Keeping also in mind when you're doing, especially the shorter term stuff, you as the landlord is going to pay the gas, the hydro, and the water, because rarely do the tenants want to put it under their name. When you're doing furnished rentals like this, if it's like a 1 month, a 2 month, or 7 days, whatever it is, you're gonna be the one that's covering the bills. You're not going to have them transfer the utilities under their name, so you got to factor that in to this to these numbers, and it does offset your income. So now we got a net of $23,000. So it's getting a little better, $23,650. Okay, so now we're only losing $755 a month. Again, not great, guys. Let's suppose you're really good with your Airbnb. You do short-term stuff. You pimp it out. You got a hot tub. You got a games room. This place is 5 bedrooms. The basement's sick. It's got everything you need. Let's say you're getting $3,500 a month short-term rentals, which is actually doable. If you're good with your Airbnb, this is doable. Airbnb comes with a set of challenges, but anyway, here we are. We've got all the same expenses. Now we're up to $28,750 as net income, 4.73 cap rate. Geez, you're still losing $330 a month. Yes, you could say you're offsetting this with your monthly mortgage pay down because you're paying $1,500 a month down on your mortgage. So that is very real, and these are real numbers. You gotta, we have to take that into consideration that you're paying your mortgage down at a decent rate. But I mean, still, negative monthly cash flow is never attractive. I don't love it. These townhomes are really hard to make them work in this city. Even if you go outside of the city, yeah, you're gonna be back down to like. You might get a townhome for $520, let's say. The numbers are getting better. Okay, you got $33 a month in positive cash flow. It's getting better. That's if you buy something outside of the city, and if you can still get these, high Airbnb numbers. So, all this to say, You know, I don't love this, guys. I don't love this as an investment. I think it's a very tough one to make it work. You know, this would put you at a break-even amount of, you know, value. If you purchased it at 330,600, you're about around a break-even. You know, we're going back to long-term rental at 2,200 a month. Expenses are similar to column 1 here. Long-term renter. You got a 5.51 cap rate in order to break even. You know, here you are, now you're breaking even, you're making $10 a month. Positive cash flow. But you had to buy it for $330,000. Honestly, guys, I don't know where you're getting a townhome, a decent townhome for $330,000. It's not in Ottawa. And, you know, maybe Cornwall. You know, maybe you go to like Renfrew or you go way out of the city. And then you're probably getting something that's going to be, you know, it's going to be a little bit run down and rough around the edges. Probably needs some repair. You should factor some renovation costs into that number. Then I just threw this in for fun. 9% cap rate. If you wanted to try and buy this thing at a 9% cap rate, you'd have to purchase it at $195,000. All things the same, to get a 9 cap at this net operating income. You know, and you're making $628 a month, which is great cash flow. But I mean, again, you can't buy a townhome, a decent one, for $195,000. Maybe it was falling over. I don't know. But it doesn't even exist, so I don't know why I was looking at that. That was just more for curiosity. But then, anyways, going back to this is your more realistic numbers. You know, realistically, you're going to buy it for like $580 in this city. And maybe you get $2,200 a month for that. For something like a cheap townhome, you probably get more like $2,100 a month. Again, guys, cap rate, net income, cash flow. This does not add up. I don't love it. I don't know what to tell you, but sorry, townhome investors. I don't like your strategy. You know, there's other ways to make money. I highly recommend you go with like multi-units. And you know, you really got to get creative and you got to find ways to make money. Sure, the Airbnb option over here, if you can increase your income dramatically, you know, there's opportunity there. But you know, you got to get into multiple units, I find, if you want to get something that's going to have some cash flow. Or maybe you got to go further out of the city. But getting a basic townhome in Ottawa, I struggle to understand how people make money on these things. I feel like you're really just praying that the value goes up and that somebody's willing to pay more money for it next year. That's really what you're banking on. Unless you put like, you know, I got 20% down payment here. If you were to put, let's say, 80% down, and your mortgage is only 20% of the purchase price, yeah, okay, guess what? Now you're making money. You put $464,000 down in order to make $765 a month. And there's almost no mortgage pay down because you don't have any, you have a very little mortgage here. I don't know. I don't see it, guys. Don't love it. Not going to say don't buy a townhome. If you want to move, you and your family want to buy a townhome, that's great. But if you're an investor, you're looking for cash flow, I think you can do a lot better. I will do another video where I get into you know, how to make more money, what opportunities make more money, and where you got to go and find them. But your typical townhome in the suburbs of Ottawa is not really going to work. Anyways, that's about it for now, guys. And I appreciate everybody listening in. Thank you for watching. If you guys have questions, hit me up. I always love to hear comments, and call me anytime. My number is on the screen. I'll show you one sec. Go back here. Here's my number. You can call me here. Always love to chat, guys. Thanks a lot.